But this kid can play. I think they're all seniors, so they might all be in the draft. But this kid can. He's 6'3", 285 pounds. Runs, he's not a great athlete. I think I'm trying to remember back without insulting anybody, but there are a ton of. Josh Evans is the guy that comes to mind. Had great hands. Okay, Josh Evans is the guy who played for the Jets, played for the Tennessee Titans. He was one of those guys that just gave us absolute fits. We hated playing against him because he had a wonderful line coach in, what was his name? He had a wonderful line coach in the Tennessee and with the Jets. It's escaping me right now. But because of it, he was so good with his hands and his leverage that he gave us fits. And when I watch this guy with jumps off the screen, is he as ready-made right now? Can he put on some weight? Absolutely. But he's ready-made right now because he's so good with hands and leverage. So good with hands and leverage. Hands, and drive. I mean, it's all day. Jumps off the screen. See him jump through here. Again, so the difference between these players, this guy isn't that explosive. He's not that big, right? He's not a game changer. Jalen Carter can be a game changer. You can center your defense. Jalen Carter, you put him in, you go, all right, we're going to build our defense around this guy. You can do that. He's that kind of talent. Kalijah can't see, because if he develops a little bit more, because of his unique skill set, he's kind of a game changer. And in other words, you could get to the point with him, you're like, oh man, I got to double him every game. Like, we're going to have to double him all the time. Like, we can't get into third down and I got a 4.67 40 time guy running against my right guard. Like, that's a problem. Okay. This player, within the structure of what you're asking your defensive tackles to do in your system, he does as well as you're going to find. I'm just talking about with it strictly like by the book. If you drew up, this is what it's supposed to look like. I want you to stack and shed. I want you to rip through. I want you to attack this gap. I want you to win with your inside hands. I want you to have good. This guy does that to a T. Physically, he's a good athlete. He's not where those guys are, elite. But technically, football IQ, I'm super impressed with this guy. Really, I probably enjoyed watching him as much as anybody I've watched. Over the right guard here, this is just a freebie. I just sometimes you get a freebie, man. You got to take advantage of those when you get a chance. You see the inside move here, all the way across, cutting it off, making the running back turn back. Okay, we just talked about this is a double team. What does he do? He attacks the heck out of that guard and leaves him so they get no movement at the line of scrimmage. The tackle doesn't know what to do. He's turned sideways. He's never going to rise up to that linebacker now. Okay, inside hands, leverage. I mean, this is for college. This isn't sexy, right? For college, dude, this is such a big deal. For the pros, there's so many guys in the pros that don't do this well. That's big time. Over the left guard here. Again, steps in there. They have a 2-eye double team. And what happens is, because he takes that inside step and attacks that center, the guard can't one-hand punch into him, right? Because his footwork's not proper. Can't really get into that with his shoulder pads, can't turn him. So now he's going to create a problem here at the line of scrimmage. Again, some of these times when we watch tape, I don't care that the quarterback didn't hand this ball off. Like, I want to see, because these guys are trying to run the football. Offensive line and the running back think they're going to get the ball. Okay, so we want to see how these react. So even though he throws the hitch out here, this center's beat, man. 98 does a 98 does a phenomenal job on that. Much better than my ability to go back to where we were. All right, here we go. See him against the right guard here. What I wanted to demonstrate here is when you just think about mesh TEs, kind of stuff you want to run in the National Football League, this right guard does a terrible job. He does a terrible job. But inside leverage on the tackle, so they're running the TE so that both players can win. So if the right guard happened to try to actually block 98, he'd have to turn his hips. He gets to attack the inside portion of the right tackle, so he has the inside leverage now going at the quarterback. This is a phenomenal. Again, technically, this is just exactly what you're asking for from your defensive tackle. Got a tight 3 now. Moves down to 2-eye. Look at the hands. Double extension. Running back has nowhere to go. Ends up getting in on tackle. I mean, it's just a phenomenal every time. And again, guys, I don't sit here and just like cherry pick plays. I hit start, go to play 8, go to play 3, whatever it is, and watch like 3 series. Move it down to the third, fourth quarter. Watch a couple more series. I'm not cherry picking these plays. This pops out on tape every single time you watch this guy. The double team takes 2. They can't get off. He just does a phenomenal job, especially for an undersized guy. Backside. The linebacker does a poor job here. He should get off on this earlier, but you see how Moro's fighting against that right guard so he can't get up. Just a really, really good job.